the beautiful thing about what we do with CrossFit is that it's approachable for anyone, from like our fittest athletes all the way to the elderly or those that might feel that they're out of shape, right? Everything is scalable. It can be adjusted to meet the demands again of like the professional CrossFitters all the way down to those that are starting for the first time. Unlike the mind part, like the mental side, there's the longer you wait, the harder this is gonna be, right? And as you get fitter, you're gonna be more capable of meeting the challenges, and the workouts. But you don't have to be in shape or be at a certain level of fitness to start CrossFit, right? We're all gonna start somewhere a little bit different, and it's just about putting in the effort, putting in the time, putting in the care for yourself, and you'll get where you want to be, And so it's just the hardest part is not necessarily doing it, but just getting here, stepping through the doors, and making that commitment.
We we do everything that we can to squash that myth, right? So here at Railroad, coming up as a coach, I learned very quickly that all of the classes start outside of the class. It starts the night before, the Sunday before. Us as coaches, we have a timeline, we have a lesson plan. We think about adjusting, we think about what adjusting we need to do for any injuries. If someone's squatting day, someone can't squat, what's our adjustment today? So it's very scalable, so we're able to program and adjust for someone who is trying to be one of the top athletes in the world, all the way to my father of 82 who just got finished doing a 30-minute PT session with Coach Nolan. Anytime that we have a class of a certain size or larger, we make sure that 2 coaches are on the floor, one to lead the entire group, and one to kind of check in individually on athletes, especially the newer athletes coming out of on-ramp or someone that's experiencing a limitation or an injury, to make sure that we're moving properly and everybody gets the same stimulus across the board. So dangerous, definitely not here at Railroad and not across the gyms that really focus on paying attention to all of athletes as a whole. Not so much like that driving of intensity. It's more of like really making sure that we all move safely.
So I've dropped into, I'd say, almost 10 different gyms, and if there's one thing that I've learned through this is that every gym that I've gone to is different from each other. It's very hard to find one gym that is the same as another, and that's what's so unique about Railroad, is that as a staff member, I've watched the coaches and the members and kind of have this inside but also outside perspective on how we do things, and we put such an emphasis on warming our members up, cooling our members down, making sure that our members understand the workout like inside and out before they go into the workout. If anybody has questions, we make sure we cover those questions. We're not putting anybody into the environment and atmosphere and workout blind. Everybody has got all their bases covered. And dropping in other gyms, I realized that not every gym does that. Some gyms put a warm-up on the board and have you do it on their own. When you're done, they just say, okay, bye. They don't do a cool down. So if you had maybe a different experience or a not so great experience at one gym, don't let that ruin your perception of CrossFit as a whole, because not every gym is like that, and there are gyms out there that are going to take care of you and are going to do things the right way.
So you're not going to get bulky coming in here 4 to 5 times a week and training CrossFit for 1 hour a day. It takes a lot more on top of that, such as possible steroid use, lifting outside 3 to 4 or 5+ hours a day, eating an enormous amount of calories, some genetics in there. So it takes a lot more than just your typical CrossFit workout 1 hour a day. And I think the biggest thing is your body's going to shape to how it's meant to be when you start working out, and to, no matter what, love that and respect that, and in the end, strong is beautiful.
I think as an outsider looking in at people who are familiar and have experience with CrossFit, you see people moving at a speed with, whether that's a barbell, their body weight, or even on a machine that looks uncomfortable to you at maybe where you and your fitness level would be at, and it looks like something that you can't fathom or understand how that happened. When we start CrossFit, and we're always aiming for these kind of 3 pillars, where we work on our mechanics, then our consistency of those mechanics, and then we layer in intensity. Intensity is the ability to do more work in less time. Always under trying to execute that through good technique and good form, right? So we challenge our athletes here in the first 3 months to really focus on mechanics solely and not even worry about intensity. Do that consistently 3 to 5 times a week for those 3 months. And once you get that experience and exposure, movement knowledge, repetition under your belt, then we would start to challenge them to ratchet it up, because intensity is that one independent variable where you're going to get results, where you're going to shed the body fat, you're going to get strength, because your ability to do things, to do more work in less time, that's how we get results. Outsider looking in, that's a foreign thing. You know, we've been in this era for so long of moving slow cardio, slow isometrics, and what we do is functional movements. And when you see that, and you see that at a speed that which maybe is foreign to you, it can kind of have that stigma that everything is about intensity, and that's not the case too. There's practice days, training days, and compete days within our cycle of training within the week, right? And we're always focusing on mechanics first before we layer in anything else below that.